Okay, this is funny. I was actually going to talk about Kanye West's Vulture song. I saw that Michael Knowles had did a take on it, and I was listening to it, and I had to stop because it was brutal. Like, I think that Kanye West is a misogynist. Like, more than anything else, he's like a misogynist first. And I feel like his time away from Kim Kardashian has allowed us to like really see it in ways that are just like, for instance, on his birthday party. I don't know if you guys remember this. He has a song with 2 Chainz. It's like, "Oh, for my birthday is a big booty hoe." That's what the song is. Anyway, and I saw the video for this for the first time like 2 years ago, and I was like, wow, he actually made this music video. Like, this is real. And for his birthday, he literally had a bunch of tables of like naked women that were just sitting on the table. And everyone was walking around eating food off of the women's naked bodies. And like, this was the form of entertainment. Yeah, I don't know what straight men do with their money is their own prerogative. Anyway, the point here is, I guess, Kanye West has a listening party for his new song "Vultures," and then people started calling Chris Brown anti-Semitic because he was at the Kanye West listening party. So I guess they think that Kanye West is anti-Semitic, and because Chris Brown is friends with Kanye West, they're both anti-Semitic. And then this gets better. So then I guess Chris Brown goes on Instagram and he's like, "I'm not anti Semitic. You don't know me," or something. I'm not sure if this was, I was just reading this, but it sounds like it's probably in the spectrum of like what happened. Um, so then he's like, "I'm not Muslim. I'm pro life. I'm Piru," or something, which is like a gang affiliation. I don't. Here's the thing, like, I don't know why everyone is interested in people's politics. Like, why do you give a shit now about like what these artists, like how they feel politically? And then the weird part about this is like, he literally said, "I have to say this because there are children looking up to me." And I'm sorry, like, your children probably should not be listening to Chris Brown's music. Like, Chris Brown is not Barney. He's not on like Sesame Street. Like, pretty much every song has to be like censored. So like, I don't like children. I'm. It's kind of very strange and sad that like urban youth are romantic, like their current heroes, the current male role models are like idyllic of like misogynistic tendencies, and they are like, they're everywhere. Like, I think he's got like 30 million followers or something like that on YouTube. That's a lot of people who are like looking up to those ideals. And I thought it was strange, like, why would he include "I am pro life"? Like, what? I don't. Okay, sir. Like, I think people who don't hold, are not vagina holding members in society, like, who gives a shit about what their stance is on abortion? It doesn't make any sense. Like, what? It's just like, that came out of nowhere. Also, like, words be, I think it's just useful to like really start to examine kind of like how far removed, especially like black celebrities are from like the way that normal people, and especially like the way the normal people in society experience the world, right? And like, I think that if you're confused about like, go have some Jewish friends, right? Because like, I see how um conservative Jewish people would feel that Kanye West's song, even the new one "Vultures," could be anti-Semitic. He's literally talking about like fucking a Jewish girl. That's not, no, in no way is that respectful. He's not saying like, "Oh, I have befriended this girl and done anything that's like even partially like like, to me." And I feel like it's not even just to me. I feel like quite a lot of women see this. Like when I was younger, I used to have this like perception that the way that Orthodox Christian men view women and sex was the way that all men view women and sex. Like, I think that like Michael Knowles and Ben Shapiro are just the most visible examples of this. But like, listen to the way that they honestly talk about their wives, or they talk about like other women in society, even women who they like politically disagree with, even women who they think are like slutty. They're not telling them to go like die or anything. They're not like, literally all they do is like give them like kind of recommendations on how to be better members in society. So it's kind of like a general respect for women. That is not the way that we don't have any examples of that from male rappers. And actually, we only have the opposite of this, where like male rappers are telling women to go die, they're telling women to shut the fuck up, they're beating women, they're shooting women. They're like, and even if we look at like the most recent terrorist attacks, it's very clear that like terrorist groups are using sex as a form of violence. Like, look at what happened with the Israeli women who were stolen. They were dragged through the streets naked and then raped multiple times. So, having sex with someone from another racial group that it could be assumed that you have some sort of hate for, especially in the black community, amongst black males, it's very evident that they are weaponizing sex in a form of like hate. Like, this is why if you go listen to other men who are like non-black and like hear their interpretation of the feelings that they believe most black men have toward black women, they're about like hate, degradation, and ugliness. Like, oh, they hate those black bitches, they want them to die, they think that they're awful, right? Oh, fuck those bitches. Like, that's because that's all the music that they put out says that. Nobody's forcing them to feel that way. Like, of their own fruition, that's what they chose. And so Kanye West in his new song is like reinforcing this narrative. And so for another community who right now is experiencing a very high level of anti-Semitism, for you to like come and be even more derogatory in a way that's like communally understood to be mean, derogatory, and like not good, for you to like hop on that bandwagon and like use the same vocabulary that we've already termed as like misogynistic is like, I think that actually is kind of anti-Semitic, just because like the context is there and the history is there. um yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not personally seeing the black male celebrities that we are familiar with as using intimacy or sex. Intimacy, sex, and love are not the same thing, which is another reason saying that this is true, but it does seem a little weird. It kind of feels like for some reason, like black men have decided. I think the volume here might have come out. Sorry. Damn it. I think. Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, so I think that like we're just overly familiar with like the hate, right? Maybe I'll actually find that clip from the Drink Champs podcast. I think that was when it just became very clear to me, like, oh, this man Kanye West specifically actually hates black women, and I knew then, just from what I heard. And I think there have been times in my life where there have been certain things that happened that made me question, like, oh, maybe other men from this group feel the way. Like, if I hear a song or something, or I see a clip and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is how this person feels. And then I'll start to think, oh, well, people who look like him, people who come from his group, they also probably feel that way. For me, it's been more negative experiences than positive experiences. So, like, I'll get a lot of negative feedback from particular groups of males. And, now I start to take those instances a lot more seriously. Like when people are not respectful of my feelings, or if they say like racially targeted things, or if they say certain jokes that are, I'm sorry, like I'm totally starting to tear up because it's just another reason I think it's like ironic that in this case, like Chris says, like, oh, I'm pro life. I don't think that that's true. I think they're pro certain life. I think I feel really bad for like Jewish women who are have to like, listen to that shit right now, and in such a time of like, of hurt. It's like sometimes it's better to just leave. Like if somebody is already just really struggling, like I yesterday when I was walking out of the Michael Knowles talk, there was a rap song that was playing, and I was shocked. The rap song was like fuck Israel, fuck Jewish people. It was like a literal rap song, and it was like playing as I was walking out, and I was like, what the fuck, like. And I talked to like another Jewish student, and she was like, yeah, I mean, like she had normalized the hate, and I felt like, wow, like I never thought I would like identify so heavily with like a Jewish woman, and I did, because like that rap song was playing, and like as I was walking home, I I knew that like the same hate that like the same hate and fear um that I know that I feel in society. Unfortunately, that's probably how Jewish women are feeling right now. And I'd seen this post that was by this. I think I said this a while ago. I saw this post by this Jewish model, and she was like talking in this state of fear. I think her name is Eden. And she was like, "Man, I never thought I'd see like who the enemy was, and now I see it clearly." And I was like, but I didn't I couldn't understand like why she was saying that, and I feel like I understand now. And I think like the insensitivity of these, I don't think I feel like black women right now have made the line very clear. Like from the violent rap music to the loss of life, and the pipeline for that is so clear. Like none of us are confused anymore about like how we got there. But I don't think like the males understand like I clearly, I don't know, maybe Kanye West knows, he just doesn't give a shit. That seems right. Like he knows, he just doesn't care. Um for Chris Brown, I don't even know. Like I truly and honestly don't think that he cares at all. Like also he was talking about being a gang member. It's just like, be serious. When have gangs ever been good for society? Never. So I don't know. I guess just two more men. I don't know. Let me not say I wish they were aborted, but I think women should make better choices, and also like children shouldn't be listening to Chris Brown's music or Kanye West's music. Like they have those like parental advisory stickers for a reason. If you're adult enough to read, you should know to turn that shit off in your household.